You think you're out of control. You think life is happening to you instead of for you. You wake up every morning feeling like you're drowning in your own decisions, suffocating under the weight of your own habits, trapped by patterns you swore you'd break 1,000 times before. But I am here to tell you something that might sting at first, but will set you free if you let it. You're not out of control. You're just undisciplined. And there's a universe of difference between those two things. Control is what happens when discipline meets opportunity. Control is what emerges when you stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the architect of your destiny. Control is what you get when you realize that the same power that created your problems can solve them. See, the world wants you to believe you're powerless. They want you to think you're just wired wrong, that you're missing some gene, that you're fundamentally flawed. They want you to accept mediocrity as your ceiling and struggle as your floor. But that's a lie. That's the biggest lie ever told to the human spirit. You have more power in your little finger than most people use in their entire lifetime. You have more potential in your sleeping hours than most people tap into when they're wide awake. You have more control over your destiny than you've ever been taught to believe. But here's the thing about power. It's useless without discipline. It's meaningless without structure. It's dangerous without direction. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Not just how to get control, but how to build the discipline that makes control inevitable. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest with yourself. When was the last time you did something you didn't want to do because you knew it was right? When was the last time you said no to something you wanted because you knew it would hurt you? When was the last time you chose the harder path because you knew it would make you stronger? If you're struggling to answer those questions, you're not alone. We live in a world that worships instant gratification. We live in a culture that celebrates the easy path. We live in a society that tells you to follow your feelings instead of your principles. But feelings are liars. Emotions are manipulators. Impulses are destroyers. And if you're following them instead of leading them, you're not living your life, you're being lived by it. The average person makes about 35,000 decisions a day. 35,000 opportunities to choose discipline over comfort, growth over ease, purpose over pleasure. But most people sleepwalk through those decisions. They let autopilot take over. They let habit drive the car while their dreams sit in the passenger seat, watching life pass by through the window. But you're not average. You wouldn't be here if you were. You're here because something inside you is screaming for more. Something inside you knows you're capable of better. Something inside you refuses to accept that this is as good as it gets. That something is your spirit calling you to discipline. That something is your potential demanding expression. That something is your future self begging you to make the choices today that will set you free tomorrow. Discipline isn't punishment. Discipline is preparation. Discipline isn't restriction. Discipline is liberation. Discipline isn't about what you can't do. It's about what you choose not to do, so you can do what you were born to do. Every great achievement in human history started with someone saying no to their impulses, so they could say yes to their purpose. Every breakthrough began with someone choosing the disciplined path over the easy one. Every legend was forged in the fire of self-control. And you have that same fire inside you. You have that same potential. You have that same power. But power without discipline is like a car without brakes. It might get you moving, but it won't get you where you want to go. Let me tell you what discipline really is. It's not about being perfect. It's not about never making mistakes. It's not about becoming some emotionless robot who never feels anything. That's not discipline. That's death. Real discipline is about responsibility. It's about the ability to respond instead of react. It's about the power to choose your actions instead of being chosen by your circumstances. It's about becoming the director of your life instead of just an actor in someone else's play. Discipline has 3 components. And if you master these 3 things, you will master your life. First component, awareness. You cannot control what you cannot see. You cannot change what you will not acknowledge. You cannot overcome what you will not confront. Most people live their lives on autopilot. They wake up, go through the motions, and go to bed without ever really examining their choices. They're like sleepwalkers in their own existence, unconscious of the patterns that are shaping their destiny. But awareness changes everything. When you start paying attention to your thoughts, your habits, your reactions, and your choices, you begin to see the invisible forces that have been controlling your life. You begin to understand why you do what you do, why you think what you think, and why you feel what you feel. And that understanding is the first step toward freedom. Because once you see the pattern, you can break it. Once you understand the program, you can rewrite it. Once you become aware of your unconscious habits, you can make conscious choices. Second component, acceptance. This is where most people get stuck. They become aware of their patterns, but they spend all their energy fighting against them instead of working with them. They waste their power on regret instead of investing it in change. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation. It doesn't mean giving up. It means acknowledging where you are so you can get to where you want to be. It means facing your reality without judgment so you can transform it with purpose. You cannot change your past, but you can change your future. You cannot control what happened to you, but you can control what happens through you. You cannot rewrite your history, but you can write your destiny. Third component, action. This is where discipline becomes real. This is where potential becomes power. This is where dreams become reality. Because all the awareness in the world won't change your life if you don't act on it. All the acceptance in the world won't set you free if you don't use it as a foundation for change. Action is where discipline gets tested. It's easy to want to change when you're motivated. It's easy to make resolutions when you're inspired. But discipline is about taking action when you don't feel like it, when it's hard, when it's uncomfortable, when every fiber of your being is screaming for you to quit. Here's something they don't teach you in school. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The more you challenge it, the more it adapts. The more you demand from it, the more it delivers. Self-control operates on the same principle. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're strengthening your self-control muscle. Every time you say no to temptation, you're building your willpower reserve. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it, you're training your brain to trust your commitment. But here's the thing most people don't understand. Self-control isn't about white-knuckling your way through life. It's not about using willpower like a sledgehammer. It's about creating systems, structures, and environments that make discipline easier and temptation harder. Think about it this way. If you want to eat healthier, you don't rely on willpower alone. You change your environment. You stock your kitchen with healthy foods. You remove the junk food. You plan your meals. You prepare your snacks. You create a system that supports your goals instead of sabotaging them. If you want to wake up earlier, you don't just try harder. You change your bedtime routine. You put your alarm across the room. You lay out your clothes the night before. You create a morning routine that excites you. You design your environment to make success inevitable. This is the secret that successful people know but rarely talk about. They don't have more willpower than you. They have better systems. They don't have more discipline than you. They have smarter strategies. They don't have more self-control than you. They have more intentional environments. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. Your systems are more powerful than your motivation. Your habits are more reliable than your feelings. And when you understand this, you stop trying to muscle your way through life and start engineering your way to success. But here's where it gets interesting. The more you use these systems, the stronger your actual willpower becomes. The more you practice discipline in small things, the easier it becomes to practice it in big things. The more you train your self-control muscle, the more natural self-control becomes. It's like compound interest, but for your character. Every disciplined choice you make doesn't just affect that moment. It affects every moment that comes after. Every act of self-control doesn't just change that situation. It changes who you become. Discipline works like compound interest. You don't see the results immediately, but over time, those small, consistent actions create exponential growth. One disciplined decision may seem small, but when you repeat it every day, it becomes unstoppable momentum. Every time you push yourself when you want to quit, you're creating a ripple effect that shapes your future self. Because discipline isn't just something you do, it's something you become. It's not just about controlling your behavior, it's about transforming your identity. When you keep promises to yourself, you start to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you no longer depend on motivation. You operate from conviction. You stop chasing discipline, and then you start embodying it. It becomes who you are, not what you try to be. You wake up earlier not because you have to, but because it's who you are now. You work harder not because someone told you to, but because you've raised your standards. You control your mind, not because you fear failure, but because you've tasted the power of mastery. That's the real transformation. When discipline becomes identity, when self-control becomes your second nature, when focus becomes your way of being. And here's the truth most people run away from. Your life will always be ruled by something. If not by discipline, then by distraction. If not by focus, then by confusion. If not by self-control, then by impulse. Something will control you. The only question is, what will it be? You were not born to live at the mercy of your impulses. You were born to master them. You were not born to be ruled by your emotions. You were born to rule over them. You were not born to drift through life. You were born to direct it. And discipline is the tool that allows you to do that. It's the bridge between who you are and who you're meant to be. Every day you practice discipline, you're building that bridge. One action, one habit, one choice at a time. So the next time your mind says, just this once won't matter, remember every small decision compounds. The smallest choice can create the biggest shift. The tiniest act of discipline can change your entire trajectory. Because life doesn't change when you do something massive once. Life changes when you do something meaningful, consistently. And one day you'll look back and realize that every early morning, every tough workout, Every moment you chose discipline over comfort wasn't a sacrifice. It was an investment. An investment in your character, an investment in your destiny, an investment in the best version of yourself. So stop asking, how do I get motivated? Start asking, how do I stay disciplined? Because motivation fades. Discipline lasts. Motivation is emotion. Discipline is decision. Motivation is what gets you started. Discipline is what keeps you going. And when you build that discipline, focus and self-control follow automatically. Remember this line: your habits decide your future, not your feelings. Because in the end, the one who controls himself controls his destiny. You're not out of control, you're just undisciplined. But let me ask you one last thing. Are you ready to take back control of your life? Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Now. You've been waiting for motivation, for clarity, for the right moment. But the right moment is never coming. Because it's not something you wait for. It's something you create. And that creation begins with discipline. Discipline is not about being perfect. It's about being prepared. It's not about forcing yourself. It's about freeing yourself from your own chaos. The more disciplined you become, the quieter your mind gets. The stronger your focus becomes. The lighter your soul feels. Because you finally realize control was never outside you. It was always waiting within you. So let me ask you, when will you decide that enough is enough? When will you stop running from your potential and start building your destiny? Because every day you delay discipline, you choose weakness over strength. You choose comfort over greatness. You choose excuses over excellence. But the day you choose discipline, you choose yourself. Start small, not with perfection, but with consistency. Wake up at the same time tomorrow, even when you don't feel like it. Complete the task you've been avoiding. Do one thing that pushes your limits. Because discipline isn't built in one massive leap. It's built in thousands of quiet, invisible steps. You won't always see results immediately, but every small decision adds up. Every repetition compounds. Every promise kept rebuilds your identity. People keep asking, how do I stay motivated? But that's the wrong question. Because motivation is emotion, and emotion fades. The real question is, how do I stay disciplined? Because discipline doesn't depend on feelings. It depends on decisions. And decisions create destiny. No one's coming to fix your life. Not your friends. Not your family. Not luck. It's you. It's always been you. You are both the cause and the cure. And when you take responsibility for that, you take your power back. That's what control really is. Not controlling others. Not controlling outcomes. But controlling yourself. Your thoughts. Your habits. Your actions. That's where true freedom begins. And yes, it will be hard. There will be days when your mind screams stop, when your body wants to give up, when your emotions try to pull you back. But remember, discipline doesn't mean you never feel weak. It means you never act weak. It means you rise, even when no one is watching. You move forward, even when the progress feels invisible. That's the difference between the ones who dream and the ones who do. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, before you sleep, write down 3 disciplines you'll commit to for the next 7 days. Something simple but powerful. Something that reminds you you're in control. then do them. Every single day. No excuses. Because that's how control is built, not through thoughts, but through action. And after those 7 days, you'll notice something shift. Your confidence will grow. Your focus will sharpen. And for the first time in a long time, you'll start to trust yourself again. And once that trust is built, you'll never want to go back. Because discipline gives you something motivation never can. Peace. Peace of mind. Peace of direction. Peace of knowing that your life is moving forward because you're the one driving it. So stop waiting. Stop doubting. Stop saying someday. That someday is today. This is your moment. This is your decision point. Either you let life keep controlling you, or you take control through discipline. Because the truth is, you were never out of control. You were just undisciplined. But not anymore. Now you're aware. Now you're focused. Now you're in charge. You're not following feelings anymore. You're following purpose. And when you live like that, you don't need control. You become control. So take the first step right now. Because the one who controls himself controls his destiny. And that destiny starts today. Discipline isn't something you do, it's someone you become.